When people ask which bike computer to buy, the answer is rarely about specs alone. It is about how you ride, how often you train, and how the screen looks in sunlight. It is also about how fast you can find a page, and whether the device helps you stay focused or pulls you out of the ride. To break that down properly, today we have the Garmin 540 and the Bryton Rider S800. This is about daily use, real riding habits, and why one might quietly fit you better than the other. So let's get started. So let's begin with how these feel on the bike, because that first impression usually sets the tone for everything else. The Garmin 540 feels compact and focused. It sits neatly on the mount, it feels light, and it does not draw attention to itself. After a few minutes, you stop noticing it, which is usually a good sign. It feels like a tool that wants to quietly do its job. Now, when you mount the Bryton Rider S800, the reaction is very different. The screen is big, and you notice it right away. It feels more like a cockpit display. Maps, numbers, and colors are all easier to see without effort. If you ride fast, or you often glance down while staying locked on the road, this matters more than you might expect. And because of that, the mindset shifts. Garmin feels like something built for people who already know what they want from their data. Bryton feels like it wants to show you everything clearly, so you never have to squint or lean forward. From a build perspective, both feel solid. However, they communicate that strength differently. Garmin's casing feels dense and tight. Buttons have a firm click, and there is no flex anywhere. It gives you confidence during rain rides or rough gravel sections. You get the sense this unit has been through many generations of refinement. Bryton feels modern and clean. The touchscreen glass feels smooth, and the body stays slim despite the large screen. It weighs more, but once mounted, that weight disappears. What stands out is the screen technology. Outdoors, even under harsh sunlight, it stays readable without max brightness, which helps battery life and eye comfort. Also worth mentioning, Bryton allows a Garmin-style mount conversion. That small detail matters if you already own multiple mounts or bikes. It makes switching easier, and over time, those little conveniences add up. Now we have to talk about controls, because this single difference shapes how you interact with the device every day. Garmin 540 is button only. On paper that sounds simple and reliable, and in some cases, it is. Riding in rain, winter gloves, or muddy conditions feels predictable. Buttons always respond. However, once you try to move through menus mid-ride, things slow down. You have to remember which button does what. Long presses, short presses, back navigation, it all takes focus. On smooth roads, it is manageable. On rough terrain or during intervals, it becomes frustrating. Bryton's touchscreen feels more intuitive. Swiping through pages, zooming maps, and checking climb data feels natural. It mirrors how we already use phones, so there is almost no learning curve. On very rough roads, touch accuracy drops slightly, but overall it feels faster and more relaxed. So this becomes a choice between consistency and speed. Garmin offers reliability in tough conditions. Bryton offers ease during daily riding. Navigation is where many riders decide what to buy, so let's slow down here. Garmin's navigation feels structured and dependable. Multiband GNSS is very accurate, especially in cities, forests, and mountain roads. You trust the line on the screen. Turn alerts feel timely, and rerouting behaves more thoughtfully than older models. Climb Pro without a loaded route is a big upgrade. You start a climb, and Garmin automatically breaks it down for you. Distance, gradient, and remaining effort all show clearly. The gradient response is not instant, but for long climbs, the overall profile stays accurate, which matters more when pacing. Bryton approaches navigation in a more visual way, The large map makes it easier to understand surroundings. Street names, POIS, and turns feel clearer at a glance. Voice search works well when paired with your phone, especially when you need a quick stop. Rerouting works, but it relies on the phone connection, and that dependency shows when things lag. Climb Challenge looks great on the S800. Color-coded segments and clear visuals make climbs feel more understandable. However, it depends more heavily on preloaded routes, so spontaneous climbs feel less polished compared to Garmin's approach. Training is where Garmin clearly leans into its ecosystem. Daily suggested workouts adapt to your recent rides. Stamina insights show how much effort you have left. Training status and load focus help you understand patterns over weeks, not just one ride. When paired with power and heart rate, it feels like a quiet coach on the bike. Power Guide is especially useful for events. It gives you targets based on course profile and your fitness. It is not perfect, but it helps prevent early mistakes on long rides. Over time, these features feel connected, which builds trust. Bryton covers training fundamentals well. Workouts, power metrics, cycling dynamics, and smart trainer control all work smoothly. Indoor virtual rides feel stable, and gradient simulation behaves as expected. However, the system feels more modular. Features exist, but they do not always talk to each other the way Garmin does. So if you like guidance and structure, Garmin feels more invested in your progress. If you prefer flexibility and self-direction, Bryton feels lighter. Battery anxiety can ruin a ride, so this matters more than specs suggest. Garmin 540 delivers strong battery life. Around 26 hours is realistic with heavy use, and battery saver mode extends it comfortably. The solar version adds extra time, but the gains feel modest unless you ride in strong sunlight often. Bryton claims up to 36 hours, and in real use, it comes close. Long rides feel stress-free. Multi-day trips or endurance events benefit from this. You worry less about screen brightness or navigation drain, so if battery life is a top priority, Bryton offers reassurance. Garmin feels efficient, but Bryton feels generous. Both devices handle sensors well. Power meters, cadence, electronic shifting, and smart trainers connect reliably. Garmin's integration with Varia radar feels seamless. Alerts are clear, and once you use radar, it becomes hard to ride without it. Bryton also supports radar and lights, and it performs well. Group ride features with chat and voice input are interesting, especially for social riders. However, these features work best when everyone uses Bryton, which limits usefulness for mixed groups. Live tracking works on both, and syncing to platforms like Strava and Training Peaks feels stable overall, although Bryton occasionally stumbles during route syncing. This is where small things matter. Garmin software feels refined. Menus are dense but consistent. Updates improve features without breaking habits. Once you learn it, it stays predictable. Bryton feels ambitious. New features arrive, and ideas feel fresh. However, bugs, slow syncing, or unclear error messages appear more often. At a lower price, these would be easier to ignore. At this level, expectations rise. Now, both sit at the same price range at around $350. And the price for Garmin reflects the ecosystem, accuracy, and training depth. Meanwhile, Bryton offers a lot for the money. Big screen, long battery life, and strong navigation visuals make it appealing. So the choice depends on how you ride. If training structure, reliability, and ecosystem matter most, Garmin 540 fits better. If screen size, battery life, and relaxed navigation matter more, Bryton Rider S800 makes sense. Neither is perfect, both are capable. The right one is the one that fades into your ride and lets you focus on the road ahead. So that was all. Thanks for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you found it helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more videos.